Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to talk about the two things that I'd like to see changed moving forward in New World. So the first thing that I'd really like to see changed is for people to have a way to vote on what upgrade is happening in the settlement. And I think the best way to do this would be to have it so that the governor can put out a poll or put to vote what upgrade comes next, and it will be gated behind home ownership. So if you own a house in the settlement, when you go to your house, on your door, there's a little notice, and you can interact with it. You go over to it, you click it, and it says, essentially, you can make it all fancy and say, Governor Northern Geek, would like your input on the direction of this city. And what do you want to see? Do you want the loom? Do you want the forge? The stone cutting place, like the engineering place, whatever. And you can vote on it. And it kind of gives people an incentive to buy a house in that city, because I think it's too easy for the people in the city to feel like they don't really have a lot of control over what goes on, just because a company comes in, they win the war, they take over the city, and now you've invested a lot into the city, you've had a house here for a while, so it's nice, and the governor doesn't have to do it, but the option is there, and I think it would kind of be a cool way to interact between the people and the ruling company. The second thing I'd like to see changed is kind of how the different types of the levels of town work. So you have a hamlet, a village, a town, a city, and a capital. And so far, in the preview, nothing changes. The hamlet, you make X many upgrades. I think it's 6 upgrades, and you become a village. But visually, nothing changes. The town looks the same. Everything looks the same. And I think that's kind of boring. I feel like when you make an upgrade, when the citizens have worked hard and they have upgraded these things, I think it should be shown in the city. And I think that would be a really cool way to know, you're running by and you look over at it and you're like, oh wow, that's a capital because it's got massive stone walls, or there's a big tower in the middle that only comes at a certain point. And with that, I think that this is kind of the third thing I'd like to see change, but it falls under the last one. And it's that the crafting stations don't change. So the same place that you can make a level 1 iron sword is the same place that you would make the strongest weapon in the game. And I just think that feels bad. I like the idea of a level 1 blacksmithing station being kind of something primitive. An iron, or an anvil and a couple of tools around it, but not much. You know what I mean? It's just these people have got together and they've found an anvil and they put it here, and this is where you kind of work. But as the town grows and people work to make it better, it shows. You go to the forge the next time, and maybe it's in a building, and it's got a couple of benches, and the next time it's a little bit bigger, and maybe the last one it's really ornate. So the craftsmen that build these weapons have come together and they've made a beautiful beautiful working area that they can come to, and I think that's cool. And I think that's something that games like this need. It's a visual reward for work put in, and I just feel like that's lacking. And it's not only is it just cool, but I think it has to do with immersion. So as a town grows, it does get better. Things look cooler, they look bigger. And I think that in a game that you play like an MMO, immersion is one of the things that keeps you coming back. And I just think that's important for the long-term health of the game. I think it keeps people engaged, and it's kind of cool. Like if you live in the town that doesn't have the cool crafting stations, you're going to these other ones. You're like, oh man, I'd love to see that. Like maybe I'll do a couple extra quests to help give the upgrade points for my town so that we can have that. So that's my opinion on it, guys. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments below. If you disagree with me, please tell me why. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, have a great day, and thanks for watching.